Good afternoon. My name is Philippe Cormier from Corbeau Engineering, and this presentation was jointly prepared with Robert Haché, Director General of the ACA, the Snow Crab Fishing Association, leading this 6-year endeavor, in collaboration with the other traditional snow crab fishing association, the APPCA. Over the past 4 years, we've been able to appreciate an increased awareness for the need to access fishing ground close to fishing due to the presence of North Atlantic right whales. From 2018 to today, we've increased the number of fishermen involved in testing ropeless fishing from 5 to 21. We've witnessed an expanded positive view from fishers towards using ropeless traps in presence of right whales. This project was made possible by the collaboration of various stakeholders. The engineering and scientific side of things brought by Corbeau and other outside collaborators, the funding supported by Fisheries and Ocean Canada and the province of New Brunswick through the Atlantic Fisheries Fund, and last but not least, the Southern Gulf of St. Lawrence traditional snow crab harvesters themselves, flag bearers of the project, but also each investing huge amount of time and money into these fishing options. Now a background to the ropeless alternative. From the start, two requirements were set for the acceptability of any system tested: the expert approval of the system's technical reliability and the harvester's acknowledgement that the system can work in a real fishery setting. In 2018 and 2019, 4 ropeless options were tested during the fishery with unreliable results. In the fall of 2019, a new adapted version of the EdgeTech release confirmed the technical reliability of the system. The harvesters involved in the sea trials confirmed that this improved version could possibly work in a real fishery setting. A new proposition in 2021. Early this year, our group was granted additional funding from the Atlantic Fisheries Fund and the province of New Brunswick to perform a real-life, large-scale experiment in closed areas. A 3-year extensive fishery proposal was designed to have 21 harvesters to have 1,000 ropeless traps to be fished in the southern Gulf of St. Lawrence, otherwise closed to fishing. All 10 harvesters involved in the 2020 experiment, along with 11 newcomers from CFA 12 Midshore Snow Crab Fleet, are part of this evolved experiment. Now for the expanded goals and activities. First of all, a commercial ropeless fishery in areas of the southern Gulf of St. Lawrence, otherwise closed to fishing. Issues related to the adjustment of the equipment and at-sea operations, experimentation of the conservation and protection components needed for monitoring and enforcement, performance analysis of the ropeless gear compared with traditional buoyed gear, and finally, competitive advantage of bringing a new whale-safe harvested product to the US and other international markets. Important limitations in 2021. Even though we always have a sense of urgency in what we do, we had no choice but to delay the full experiment until the spring of 2022 for the following reasons. Many months of delay in the delivery of the equipment due to COVID-19, quotas caught before the arrival of Atlantic right whales and thus before the closures necessary for our testing protocols. This happened because of the mild winter we had last year and the fast withdrawal of the ice in Gulf and small ports. This combined with a 25% reduction of the midshore fleet's quota in 2021 and very strong catches by the harvesters. These conditions were actually the best scenario for the coexistence of the fishery in the North Atlantic right whales, but not as much for our experiment. That being said, we were still able to hold training events in 2021. We had 2 in-class group events with the harvesters and many private sessions to make sure they were comfortable using the equipment. We also had a training session with Fisheries and Ocean staff and agents in order to familiarize them with the equipment and the use of the technology. As explained before, the full experiment with the 21 harvesters had to be postponed, but we were still able to have 6 participants try the equipment between May 14th to June 11th. In total, 9 systems were tested using various trawl lengths. The overall success rate was 100%, even though some of the participants had some issues with the technology, giving them either false positives or false negatives on the release, as well as GPS positions that were sometimes off the actual position. In conclusion, the 2022 season should give us tons of precious information on the possibility to have many harvesters using Ropeless technology in the same area. With 21 harvesters using more than 1,000 Ropeless traps, we hope to have a lot more to tell you next year. Finally, the improvement the harvesters would like to see at this point is a much more robust software and hardware combination that is fixed on both and that will work day in and day out. Thank you for the interest, and a special thanks to our dear partners.